Very good afternoon to everyone. So today we'll be doing the Hindu analysis of 21st of September. Um, okay, so I've shared the newspaper on your screens. So this news is there in page number 10 of the Delhi edition, and it says the ICMR nod to conduct TrueNAT test to detect Nipah virus. Now, for this, you should know about Nipah virus and you should also know about the TrueNAT test. Now, Kerala has been accorded sanction by the ICMR to use TrueNAT test to diagnose Nipah in the hospitals. And this means that NIV diagnostics can be performed by more labs in the state. Now, the state was able to contain Nipah effectively and limit its spreads because of the efficient work that was done by Kozhikode district surveillance team. Now, no new cases of Nipah have been reported since. 4 people who tested to positive continue to be under treatment. Now, what you need to do over here is that first of all, this is your homework. That means you need to find out what or which disease or probably for which disease is TrueNet test conducted. So TrueNet test conduct is used for what, and then you should know a little bit about the Nipah virus. So in this, you should have a little bit information about this. Now moving on to the next part. We have to do this also, but let me do this article first. This one. So let's do the Delhi Waqf Board article. This is present in page number 15. Now, the article talks about what is the tussle between the central government and the Delhi Waqf Board. So, the Union Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry has taken over 123 properties belonging to the Delhi Waqf Board. It includes many historic mosques, medieval dargahs, and cemeteries. So, first thing they are saying that 123 properties. Just a minute. Okay, so they are saying that and who has taken over these 123 properties of Delhi Waqf Board? So the Union Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry. So Union Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry has taken over 123 properties of Delhi Waqf Board, and these properties include your historic mosques, your medieval dargahs, and cemeteries. Now, following the Delhi High Court order, a committee was formed by the government to study the status of these monuments. So, they have initially formed what? A committee. And under whose order? It was Delhi High Court. So, following a Delhi High Court order, a committee was formed by the government to study the status of these monuments. The two-member committee that was headed by a retired justice submitted in its report that no representation or objection was received by it from the Delhi Waqf Board. So accordingly, these property lapsed into the hands of the central government. That means the committee has said that there was no objection from this Delhi Waqf Board while they were, submitted that no representation or objection was received by it from the Delhi Waqf Board. So they said that there was no objection from the Delhi Waqf Board, and that is the reason. After doing a lot of inspection, what they found was that these properties should be taken over by the these urban housing and affair ministry, or you can say the central government. So why was then the Delhi Waqf Board gone to court? That means now the Delhi Waqf Board has gone to court regarding what these 123 properties that have been taken over by the union ministry. So the question arises that if there was no objection by the Delhi Waqf Board, so why or how come they went on to the court? So the Delhi Waqf Board disputed the committee's contention, arguing that it has resulted in widespread panic, fear, and resentment among the Muslim community. The Waqf Board chairman, who is also an who, yeah, the chairman claimed the report had not been shared with the Waqf Board, and there was no direction by the High Court to constitute a two-member committee in its order. Back in 2014, the Waqf Board has approached the Delhi High Court for redressal. So what the board is saying that there was no such issuance of statement regarding what that a committee should be formed. So if there was these were belong to the Delhi Waqf Board, so they have been taking care of it, and they will do so in future also. So after this, what happened was that these properties are under our care and surveillance. So the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has written to us saying that we have no right over this property. We have challenged this letter, which was sent to them. Mr. Khan told the media. He also claimed that the board has gone to the High Court. Now, are the properties in use? So most worshippers at the mosque and the others were not aware. Among the 123 denotified properties. Okay. So now what has the center said in the court? Through its counsel, the center opposed the Waqf Board's plea against the inspection of the properties under question. and claimed that the Delhi Waqf Board is not and cannot be the owner of any of the 123 properties, and at the best could only be a custodian. So this is what center is claiming. Now the center is claiming what, that this Waqf Board cannot be the owner of any of the any of the properties that government has taken. So they are saying that they cannot be the owner of any of the properties, and what could be done is that at best they could be the custodian. That too only if it's work of property. Merely because certain properties were given on lease to various persons does not mean that the said properties are converted into one of property. So the survey of one of the leading mosques and dargah continues for now, and the graveyards have not been touched. So the whole article was about the tussle between the Delhi government and between the Delhi Waqf Board and the central government. That was regarding the 123 property. So you should know that what is the claim of the Waqf Board, and simultaneously what is central government is claiming. Other than that, you should also know that what is the point of contention between the two, because since they have they are against each other, so this might continue. Uh, Apart from this, you should also know that the survey just now has been conducted in the mosques and the darwadas, and the cemeteries, that means the graveyards, have not been touched. So let's see what is there in future with respect to this. Okay. Now we shall move on to the next article in the editorial section, and this is very important also. Okay, so the article says that Vietnam, a key piece of America's Indo-Pacific struggle. Now, in the international relations strat, if you see what is happening is that uh, recently the Biden administration, that means the present day administration of the US, has shown an excuse me has shown an unusual nimbleness in its strategic embrace of Vietnam. There has been a rapid expansion of ties in various fields. So what thing is, there is a complex foreign policy. What is happening is, now, in order to know that why the Biden administration is embracing the Vietnam, you need to know little bit about the history also. So, what or how was the U.S. involvement in the history of the Vietnam? So, the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam during the Cold War. This elevation marks a significant step. Vietnam's strategic restraint, notwithstanding the motivation. Now, what is happening is the geopolitics that is involving China's growing belligerence in the Pacific theater, felt most palpably in the waters surrounding the Vietnam, and the broader South China Sea has proven to be a first order deterrent for Vietnam's great power engagement. Now, what is happening in this point? What they are saying that China's growing power in the regions of South China Sea. So China's growing power in this region has kind of threatened Vietnam. So what is happening is, on the other hand, the historical legacy of Vietnam's contested relationship with the US during the Vietnam War. Now, this is an axial relationship with the communist states, China and the Soviet Union, culminating the Treaty of Friendship. And now, this is a brief history about how was the relationship between US and Vietnam, and also they are talking about the fact that this history with respect to Soviet Union, right? Now, when we move further, now this year marks the 50th anniversary of the Paris Peace Accord signed in 1973 to end the Vietnam War. So much water has flown under the bridge in that Vietnam's relation with US have came a long way. So, Mr. President, Indo-Pacific policy now counts Vietnam as among the US leading regional partners. So, if you see, there is a closeness that has been encountered between US and Vietnam, and US has been referring Vietnam as one of the very important regional partner. And why? Because there is China in the neighborhood, and that shall create a lot of tension in the regions of South China Sea and also in the Indo-Pacific region. Now, Vietnam is the 10th largest goods trading partner of the US. In 2020, the total value of the trade in goods and service between the US and Vietnam amounted to $92 billion and exceeded $138 billion. In May 2022, the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity was launched by the US with Vietnam as the founding member. Now, how is the ties? The Biden administration has depicted an unusual nimbleness to its strategic embrace of Vietnam. The visit by the US Defense Secretary, the Vice President, to Vietnam in 2021, the meeting between the Secretary and the Vietnamese Minister in June 2022, and visits by US Secretary, etc., have been augmenting the bilateral relationship. So, if you see, there has been a considerable boost and closeness which has been encountered between the Vietnam and US. Now, the US-Vietnam relationship is now rapidly expanding its bilateral spectrum with an emphasis on enhancing what? The political trust, strengthening science and technology, health and digital innovation, cooperation, training of high-quality workforce, addressing climate change, establishing a strong defense relationship in the backdrop of China's increasing assertiveness. So, if you see, the article is focusing on the broad parameters of how to counter China when you are having, or when we are having Vietnam. Okay, so by focusing on the health and digital innovation, cooperation, trading of high quality workforce, addressing climate change, a strong defense relationship in the backdrop of China's increasing assertiveness. The war in Europe has thrown new challenges for Vietnam. That is, they are talking about the Russia-Ukraine war. The war in Europe has thrown new challenges for Vietnam as its weapons import from Russia, its large defense supply. That means Vietnam is having a large uh, weapon import from Russia. That means they are importing the weapons from Russia. Now, a lot of sanctions have been imposed on Russia. So, owing to which the the weapons that they were taking on from Russia will be hampered. So it has been hit by the West-led sanctions. This is what exactly I said, that the sanctions that have been imposed onto Russia is making difficult for the Vietnams to get the defense equipment from there. So these limitations in the face of Vietnam resolve to modernize its military, coupled with an ever-growing assertiveness from China. So it's also gradually nudging Vietnam in a new direction. So China's dramatic steps in 2014 to place oil rigs in Vietnam's exclusive economic zone, that is the EEZ, and subsequent assertiveness that is pushing have tested its vowed policy to stay clear of great power politics in the region. So undoubtedly, Washington's senses an opportunity here, and bolstering the defense and security relationship with Vietnam is a key piece of America's grand strategy in the Indo-Pacific region. So this is what we have been talking about. That U.S. Is thinking about a major master step. That is, they want to counter China in the Indo-Pacific region by gaining what the support of Vietnam, and for that they are not only using political trust as one of the weapons, but also going for other alliances with Vietnam. That includes your science and tech. That includes your digital cooperation. That includes your high quality workforce, addressing climate change, strong defense relationships. So, meanwhile, Vietnam faced an issue because of the war in the European countries, and that affected its weapon. Yeah, that weapon import from Russia. So, an important component of visit was to start the process of supply chains in the semiconductor industry to Vietnam, even as it seeks to boost alloy chips manufacturing capabilities. As the two countries seek an expanded economic partnership by increasing investment in critical technologies, chips, artificial intelligence, there's space for linking such partnerships across the broader realms of the Indo-Pacific with the like-minded partners. So, India's initiative on critical emerging technology partnership with the US, along with the Quad's principle of critical and emerging technology, could provide an overarching framework. So, there have been multiple criteria based on which the US or Mr. Biden is trying to build on the relationships with Vietnam, and that is the semiconductor industries, the Hanoi chip manufacturing capabilities, the critical technologies, artificial intelligence. Then they are talking about space saving profiles, then the partnership in the broad realms in the regions of Indo-Pacific regions, etc. Now, a supply chain arc which extends from Vietnam to Europe via West Asia and anchored by India with the newly launched India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor during the recent G20 meet that happened in India could symbolize comprehensive strategic partnerships. So, what is happening is that India has anchored what India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor in its recent G20 summit, and this is probably going to act as what a strategic partnership, right? So this was about the Vietnam's relevance in countering China's belligerence in the Indo-Pacific region. Now we shall come on to the next article. We have come.
So now we are going to talk about the 3 years of Abraham Accord. What is it is talking about now? This week marks an important milestone for West Asia and North Africa. Why? Because 3 years since the signing of Abraham Accords between who? Between Israel and UAE. Now, Israel and the UAE and the Bahrain under the auspices. Now, 3 months later, in December 2022, Morocco joined the process of signing a normalization agreement with the Israel. So, the catalyst that enabled these historic accord was the decision by the parties. So, what is so special about the Abraham Accord and how is it beneficial for the Indians? So, this shall enhance the regional connectivity and will also brought significant benefits to the people of India. The vibrant Indian diaspora in the Gulf now has the convenience of direct flights between UAE and Israel, as well as between Israel and Bahrain. So Indian students are enjoying increased ease of travel, gaining improved access to our universities and the opportunities to explore the international study program. So if you see the benefits of for the India's is lying a lot. How? Because we are able to do what? We are able to explore a multiple number of opportunities with respect to the education sector. Now, the accords have also had a significant influence on reinforcing Israel's relation with the neighboring countries. For example, the Prosperity Green and Blue Agreement between Israel and the UAE and Jordan. Uh, I discussed with you the education sector. Now they are talking about the solar field supply of 600 megawatt of electricity to Israel would be established in Jordan. So they are talking about the solar fields also. So what you need to first know is that what is the Abraham Accord, between which countries this accord was signed, and how is it beneficial for the for India. Furthermore, the accords have laid the foundation for expanded regional and multinational cooperation, and this has resulted in a flow of economic opportunities reaching India. Notably, we have witnessed what substantial commercial collaboration between companies from UAE, Israel, Bahrain, and US partnering with the Indian private sector. Now, what are the in a region where 65% of the population is under 30 years of age, providing the younger generation with opportunities is a key factor in preventing instability. So, this is what exactly we have done with respect to the benefits that would be gained by India. So, delegations in which young influencers could experience each other's culture and visit important religious historic sites. Abraham Accord encourage collaboration on education in the summer 2022. Apart from this, how will it help in embracing the culture? So it says that uh, it will help in fostering what mutual understanding. What else? Now, UAE incorporated Holocaust education into its school curriculum as mandatory subject attestation to the ability of Abraham Accord to foster coexistence and religious tolerance. The Abraham Accords have shown unity's power to inspire. They offer a window into the potential future of the region and demonstrate that when both leaders and ordinary citizens prioritize what peace and cooperation, a better future for West Asia is possible. So Israel hopes that many more countries will join this endeavor, creating a brighter tomorrow. So Israel is, excuse me, opting for a better future of West Asia. India holds a significant position from our partners. The scope of our collaboration underscores our shared interest. This includes championing of sustainable recovery from COVID-19 pandemic, expanding trade, addressing climate change, and countering threats to international security. That means the international security is also kept in mind. Through the concerted efforts of our countries, public and private sectors, we are forced to deliver promising outcomes for the entire world. Our nation shares a special bond with India and its people, and we remain committed to realizing the full potential of the gods as partners in peace and prosperity. So, all in all, you should know the agreement was between Israel, Bahrain, and the UAE, and it has improved the regional ties and also brought what better opportunities for Indians in terms of education sector, in terms of solar fields, in terms, and their primary focus will always be on the investment in the critical areas. And what is that? That is water, energy, transportation, space, health, and food security. Okay, so this was for Abraham Accord. We have done the Waqf Board. So now let's come on to we. I have done the women reservation bill very in a very detailed analysis. So I've done the detailing part in today's 21st. So I have done this in 19th of September analysis. So you people can go there on 19th September and can view that video. I have done it in a very deeper manner that why is it needed, what is the women's percentage contributing towards it. Now, with the next article that I'm going for is taking a giant leap for new ethics in outer space. Taking a giant leap for a new ethics in outer space. Now, this article is talking about the outer space and what are they saying. So, let's go ahead with it. Now, 11 decades ago in 1910 and 12, both Itch and Urge were quivering in the northern hemisphere. So, Robert Scott, a 43-year-old British naval officer, was preparing a daring expedition to South Pole. Around the same time, Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen, about 4 years younger, was planning a bold ice trip to the North Pole. On learning of dubious but loud claims by the two Africans, Amundsen lost interest in the half destination it has been reached, but the South Pole beckoned. So while others had freaked out that the continent no human foot had stood on the southernmost point of the earth. So how come the setting foot on the South Pole happened? That is what we are going to do. So Scott and Amundsen knew of each other's target and goal, but observing new courtesies all right, they raced with Scott and his men with dogs and horses. Amundsen with his dogs and sledges, Amundsen and his 5 companies with 16 surviving dogs got there on December 14th, so 34 days before Scott and his team of 5 did. So planting the Norwegian flag there. So Amundsen felt fulfilled as he should have. He named their South Pole camp for him, named Pole Home in the north. And he renamed the Antarctic Plateau as King Haakon VII's Plateau after his monarch. So on the exploration success cross, Amundsen is placed on top in legend, and Scott has for all the time outpaced his Norwegian rivals. So if you see, Scott was the one who reached there, and what they are talking about is that in 1939, Norway laid claim to a vast area of Antarctica which it called Rolling Mount Land. Now, what has been Britain doing so? So, Britain had been outdone by the Norway on the South Pole because it was they reached towards the South Pole. So, but she was not going to be out of the race for territorial claims over the Antarctica region, for nor others. So now, apart from Norway, the first South Pole arrivee and the claimant Britain, the second South Pole arrivee and the claimant, there are five others who have sharply denied areas of Antarctica which they regard as theirs. So they consider the regions of Antarctica as theirs, and who are they? So it's Australia, it's Argentina, it's Chile, it's France, it's New Zealand. So Antarctica has seen flags flying on their own Antarctica territories. Now, how are these seven tracts of Antarctica ice over which flags of different strips fly and then different from the colonies of the interior? So if you see, they have claimed the region to be there. So there are no subject people, there are no native residents who are being denied freedom, no resources, no nothing being drained out from there to the mother country. But then, why were the seven on that inhospitable continent at all? That means that the seven countries that I have just told you, they are what they are denying acceptance to the other one. So India must set the pace for the world's agenda on the moon. So So what now? This whole article is talking about the regulations in the area of the Antarctica region. With the International Geophysical Year in 1958 seeing many players becoming active in Antarctica and fears of Cold War rivalry taking unexpected turns. Now, what is happening is in the present time, when satellites can pick up an activity that is auspicious, none of them can do anything questionable there. So they will be found out. So, but even before the world developed the sky eyes, now if you see these seven countries, and the United States, the 12 countries have established over 55 Antarctica research stations for the area, and they had to make the treaty accord full acceptance to two basics: what that freedom of scientific research should be there in the Antarctica region, and the peaceful use of the continent should be there. So, an indirect consensus emerged for the demilitarization as the treaty prohibited nuclear testing, military operation, and economic exploitation. So what they are saying is that the countries, have hosted the flags over there in the regions of Antarctica, and these regions should be used for the scientific purposes, and they should not be used, or they should demilitarization should be done there. They should not be used for what any kind of military operation or economic exploitation. So the entire article is about the South Pole region, the people who stepped over there, the people who hoisted the flags over there, how they are using it, and why other countries are being denied the freedom to access over the region. Okay, thank you so much. So this was for today. Thank you so much.